Welcome to the BISP Solutions. So, our today's topic is dividend adjustment in consolidated financial statements. So, we'll see what is dividend. Dividend is a share of after tax profit of a company distributed to its shareholders according to the number and class of shares held by them. Basically, dividend is the distribution of company's earnings to its class of shareholders, which is determined by the board of directors. Now, there are two types of dividends: final dividend and interim dividend. Final dividend, it is declared after the end of financial year. It is recommended by the board of directors but approved by the shareholders in the AGM, that is annual general meeting. Final dividend, it means it is paid after the finalization of the accounts of the year. Means the profit which we have earned in this year, out of those profits the dividend will be declared in the next year. Okay, now we'll see what is interim dividend. Interim dividend is it is declared before the end of the financial year. It is declared by the board of directors. That means it is paid before the finalization of accounts of the year. Means it is paid in the middle of the year. As a result, final dividend source is the profit of last year, and interim dividend source is the profit of the current year up to the date of distribution. As we have seen, final dividend source is the profit of last year. That's why the profit which we earned in this year, it is out of those profits dividend is distributed in the next year, so it's a source of last year. And interim dividend is the profit of current year. Okay, now we'll see treatment of dividend in consolidation. Dividend received by the parent can be either it relates to pre-acquisition period or it relates to the post-acquisition period. If the dividend received by the parents relates to pre-acquisition period, then the treatment is it is to be adjusted in COC, that is it is deducted from the investments. And if if the dividend relates to post acquisition period, it needs to be transferred to the consolidated profit and loss account of the holding company. Now, treatment depends on the following: dividend entry. If the dividend entry has already been passed, then what's the treatment? Dividend entry has been passed, that means the profits which we are seeing in the balance sheet, these are not correct. These are after deduction of the dividend. So to come to the correct profit, we need to firstly add back the dividend in the AOP. Then we'll make the time adjustments of the post acquisition profit. Like if the investment is made in the middle of the year, so some period may be relating to the pre and some period will be related to the post, so accordingly we'll do the time adjustments. Now we have come to the correct profits. Now third step is deducted again from the pre-acquisition. Now we'll deduct the dividend from the pre or post as the case may be. But second case is if the dividend entry has not been passed. That means if dividend entry has not been passed, that means the profit which we can see in the balance sheet, they are correct, they are not affected. So there is no need to add back the dividend as we have done above in first step. So we'll not add back the dividend, we'll just make the time adjustment and deduct the dividend from pre or post as the case may be. See, here's the one time line diagram. This is the financial year 15-16. Now we can see on 1st April 2015, invest 80% shares were acquired for 2 lakh. That means investment is done on 1st April, and on 31st March it's the closing year. Total investment 2,40,000. Now dividend, it has been declared in the middle of the year. Means after acquisition dividend has been declared. Suppose it is final dividend, that means it relates to the pre-period. Okay, see, belongs to this year, that is pre-period. So it should be reduced from COC, that is investment. See here, the amount of investment is 2 lakh minus 80% of this 10,000. It is reduced from the investment 1,90,000. Okay, if it would be an interim dividend, then it would be deducted from the post period itself. Then it will be deducted from the P&L of the holding as we have seen in the last slide. It will be transferred to the consolidated P&L of holding. Now we'll see this through an example. Large Limited has acquired 75% shares in the Medium Limited on 1st July 2010. Large Limited is our holding company, Medium Limited is our subsidiary company. So holding company percentage of shareholding is 75%. It has invested on 1st July 2010, that is in the middle of the year. We have given the profit balance in the profit and loss account on 1st April 2010, 45,000, and on 31st March 2011, that is closing P&L balance is given 80,000. Okay. Dividend paid by the Medium Limited, that is subsidiary company, has paid the dividend. It has paid the dividend on 1st August, final dividend 10,000, and on 1st January interim dividend 18,000. This is the question. Now we have been given the balance sheet as on 31st March 2011. Separate balance sheet figures are given. Large limited holding and medium limited is subsidiary company. Inventories are 40,000 and 35,000. Trade receivables are 40,000 and 35,000. Equipments 5 lakh and 3 lakh. Share capital is 4 lakh and 2 lakh. Profit and loss account is 1 lakh and 80,000. Trade payables are 1 lakh 80,000 and 90,000. As we have seen, the first step is to combine. So we'll just combine all the figures given in this both separate balance sheet. Like 40,000 plus 35,000 is 75,000. 40 plus 35 is 75,000. Equipments is 5 lakh plus 3 lakh is 8 lakh. Investment also we have combined. We have combined the share capital as well. 4 lakh plus 2 lakh 6 lakh. Profit and loss, we'll not combine the profit and loss figure because these profits are not correct, because the dividend has been reduced from these profits, so these are not correct. We'll do the separate calculation as I've shown the working notes here. So these figure will not be coming. We'll do the calculation below. Now we'll do the, and we have just added the trade payables as well, 2,70,000. Now we'll calculate the profit and loss figure, that is analysis of profit. We'll see. Okay, first we need to calculate the analysis of profit, because the profits of the subsidiary company, they are not correct. Then if they are only not correct, then how the profit will be distributed by the holding and how it will be coming in the consolidated balance sheet? That's why we need to first calculate the correct profit of the subsidiary company. So we have seen pre-profit was 45,000. Opening balance first for 2045 and 31st March 2011 is 80,000. So 80,000 total profit. Previous profit, pre-period profit is 45, post period will be 35, balancing figure. Okay, now we'll just add back the dividend because the dividend has been reduced from this profit. So we'll first add back the dividend. Both dividend will be added by, because final dividend belongs to the pre-period and it has been reduced from the post period. So this treatment is not correct. That's why, as we have seen our first step, we'll just add back the dividend. We have just add back the dividend. Now we have come to the correct profits. Second step, we'll do the time adjustments. How time adjustments will be done? As we can see, investment was, see one time flow diagram I have made. 1st April 1st April 2010, profit and loss balance was 45,000 and P&L balance 31st March 2011 was 80,000. Investment was done on 1st July 2010. Final dividend on 1st August 2010. But it is given in it is paid in financial year 10-11, but it belongs to the financial year 9-10. Okay, and interim dividend is 1st January 2011. So final dividend 10,000 belongs to the previous year. Okay, now investment, it is done in 1st July. So 3 months was pre, like April, May, and June. 3 months belongs to the pre period and 9 months belong to the post period. Okay, so we'll see here time adjustments. 3 months belong to the pre and 9 months to the post. So 3 months profit will be reduced from the post and will be added in the pre. 63,000 into 3 divided by 12. 3 months profit will be reduced from here and similarly it will be added to the pre. Now we have added back the dividends. We have done the time adjustment. Now third step, we'll deduct the dividend from pre and the post. Like final dividend, we have seen final dividend belongs to last year, so it will clearly be reduced from the pre acquisition profits. Final dividend 10,000 will be reduced from here and 18,000 was post acquisition profit. Interim dividend was post acquisition profit. So interim dividend will be it is distributed up to the date of distribution. So 3 months belong to the pre and 6 months belong to the post, and 18,000 is the interim dividend. So we'll 18,000 into 6 divided by 9. 6 months belong to the post and 3 months belong to the pre. So I'm sorry, 3 divided by 9. 6 months, 3 months belong to the pre and 6 months to the post. Yeah. So we have come to the correct profit now, 44 and 750. Now holding percentage is 75% and minority is 25%. We'll calculate 75% and 25% here only. Now we'll see whether it's a goodwill or capital reserve. So cost of control, working note number 2. We have done the investments of 1 lakh. We can see investment in subsidiaries of 1 lakh rupees. So we'll write investment as we have seen how the goodwill investment less net assets. Investment is on 1 lakh. We'll reduce the dividend from here because the pre-acquisition period dividend is there and we have not done the entry correctly. We have reduced it from the post, means the entry was not done correctly. Now we have to reduce it from the investment as well as from the PNL. Okay, so we'll reduce the dividend. Like dividend was pre-acquisition dividend is 10,000 and 6,000. Like it is 16,000. So we'll reduce 16,000 into 0.75. 12,000 will be reduced from here also and it will be reduced from consolidated PNL also. Okay. Now we have come to the net investment. We are reducing dividend because it's a recovery of the cost. So net investment is 88,000. Now in net investment, investment less net assets. Now we'll go through equity way. 2 lakh is a share capital and 80,000 is the profit. 2 lakh is the share capital. So 2 lakh into 75% will be there. Equals to 2 lakh into 0.75. 1,50,000 will be reduced from here and 50,000 minority interest will come in the minority interest calculation. Less pre-profits. The profits which is given in the balance sheet will not calculate. We will not take that. We will take this figure as we have calculated the correct profit. 33,563 will directly come here. Less pre-profits. Okay. Now the calculation is capital reserve because we have made an investment of 88,000 and we have received share capital and pre-profits more. Means we have invested less and received more. So this is capital reserve. Capital reserve comes in the reserves and surplus head. Here it is coming. Working note number 2, reserves and surplus 95,563. Now we will see how NCI will be coming. That is 70,000. How it will be coming. See, share capital 2 lakh into 0.25% was the minority interest. 50,000 add we have calculated the profits, pre-profits and post-profit directly will be added here. So total is 70,000. It will be shown in the equity side non-controlling interest. Okay, now we'll calculate the consolidated PNL. That means of the holding company PNL. The holding PNL was 1 lakh. It was given in the balance sheet. PNL is 1 lakh. Holding company PNL is 1 lakh. Now what we'll do, we'll not take that profit which is given 80,000 which is given in the balance sheet. We'll add the profit which we have calculated 26,438. Post profits will be added here. Holding company's share in profit is 26,438. We will add that and we have seen we'll reduce the dividend, pre-acquisition dividend, because the dividend entry was not done correctly. So we have done basically the rectification, like P&L account debit to dividend. So it will be reduced from debit P&L also and it will be reduced from the investment also, P&L to investment. Yeah. So 114438. Here, profit and loss account, working note number 4, 114438. So we'll just, as we have seen, we'll all combine this. So combined figures will be coming. We'll just eliminate the investment made in subsidiary. We'll just eliminate that figure 1 lakh. Okay, it will be nil, and the share capital which we have, share capital of the subsidiary is not coming, so we'll just eliminate that. Rest all we have all combined. Inventories total, trade receivable 75,000, investment 8 lakh, sorry, it is equipment 8 lakh, investment is nil. Profit and loss we have calculated from the working note. Share capital was combined 4 lakh, only share capital is 4 lakh of the holding company. Similarly, profit and loss we have done the calculation, capital reserve was done from, we have done the calculation, and NCI also we have done the calculation. Trade payables, we'll just add it up, 1 lakh 80 plus 90, it's 2 lakh 70,000. So total asset side is 950 and total liability side is 950. So this is how the dividend adjustment is done while doing the consolidation. Thank you.